We made it finally. And we were having technical difficulties. Actually, it was operator error again. That would be me, the operator. Okay. We are the Orb Sisters are in the house. We are here finally. Hey, Tracee. Thanks for putting up with
Hello.
me.
Yes, hello everybody.
All right, I got my voice going all over the place with all these with the oh gosh, with all there we go. With all these devices everywhere. All right. Woo, isn't this fun? Okay. So we are here to do a presentation on our orb photos, our our paranormal photos, that type of thing, energy photos, anything that we could get in our photos that are sentient, right? Not dust. Well, we've been able to tell the difference between dust and orbs with experience. Yeah.
Yep,
So, yeah, we're here to do a presentation on that. How you doing, Tracee?
doing good. Now that we've got all everything figured out, we're on a roll.
We're on a roll, right? Okay, so let's see here. We've been taking photos for quite a while now, and we enjoy it.
Yes.
By the way, we are real sisters.
Yes, we are.
Yes, and if you don't know us from our Facebook group or anything like that, that we are real sisters and we get some amazing photos, and a lot of people do. And you can get these amazing photos too, which is what we're going to show you now, how to
Yes.
do that.
And that's what we love is to be able to teach others how to get what we get because it's just so exciting.
Yeah, what we get and more, because everyone gets
Yeah.
their own unique type of energies that come in for them.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to do a share screen. This is the first time I'm learning Restream the hard way. I've done a share screen, and we're going to show some stuff here, some good stuff. All right, here we go. Okay, are you able to see that, Tracee?
Yes.
Okay. So we do believe that orbs have healing powers.
Yes, we do.
Mhm. I'm gonna all right. Do you still see it full screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. Hi, Carissa. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Okay, so let me uh there we go. Okay. So we would like to offer a disclaimer. And go ahead, Tracee, and interrupt me whenever you want to do anything or read
Okay.
the cards. Go ahead. And
Okay.
yeah, and I would encourage anyone out there that's watching, if you have any questions or comments while we are presenting, go ahead and put them in the chat, and we'll be happy to address them when we see them. Okay.
Yes, please do.
Yeah. So disclaimer, we'd like to say that we are not here to try to prove anything or convince anyone of our theories and beliefs. We are simply sharing what we have learned from our own experiences and our research. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. As always, the best proof is your own experience. Okay. So this is a little bit about my background with orb photography. I started in 1999, started getting orbs. I'd heard about them and that you could get little orbs or in your photos. And I was only aware of and captured orbs until Tracee began getting different types of anomalies later. And so I started asking for different types of anomalies and began receiving them immediately, but they weren't in my awareness. So I knew nothing about them. And that's what we learned, right, Tracee?
Right.
Yeah. And so five,
Believing is seeing.
huh?
Believing is seeing.
Right. 5 cameras later, I now have thousands of photos of orbs and energy anomalies, and I am a little orb obsessed. And Tracee, go ahead and share a little bit about your background.
Okay, well, I claim myself as an open-minded skeptic, and I I'm kind of have a bit of a scientific mind, more so than a woo-woo mind like my sister.
Like me?
Yeah. So I went to a ghost retreat that she invited me to, and I caught some anomalies there, and decided to do some experimentation a couple years later. And I found some orbs saw some orbs in our Christmas photo, a family Christmas photo, and then decided to do a little bit more research on it, and read quite a few books before I even started taking pictures in the yard. And now I'm about 8 cameras later, though that might be down to more like 6 because I've broken a couple of them. But anyway, I have hundreds of thousands of photos, and I am also orb obsessed.
Yes. So this is just a little bit of what we've the theories of what we feel orbs may be. We really aren't in a place to say for sure, right?
Right.
But there's many theories. They could be souls of departed loved ones. They could be angels and spirit guides, any kind of angels, beings from other dimensions, such as ETs and the like, interdimensionals. And also, they could be vehicles or portals from or to other dimensions, collective consciousnesses, or let me close this, or all of the above and more. And there's still a lot to be discovered and understood about orbs and energy itself. Yeah. And that's a really pretty orb. I love the color of that orb.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Non physical dimensions. All non physical dimensions are levels of existence vibrating at a higher frequency than the known physical universe. This makes them invisible and undetectable to the normal five senses and to scientific means available today. In Robert Bruce's Astrodynamics book, and with the exception of a digital camera,
Hmm.
we can see in the higher frequencies with the digital camera.
Yep.
Yeah. So we like this analogy. Trace, you want to explain this one?
Well, it basically shows how when something's vibrating at a very fast rate, it's much harder to see. So as you can see, the ceiling fan is going at a very fast rate, and you cannot see the blades. And that's kind of how orbs are. They've been clocked at, I think, up to 600 miles per hour in the Orb Project book. And some of them will, stop to kind of check you out. So they don't all move that fast, but a lot of them do. And they're vibrating at a different rate than we are, which is why we can't see them usually in this 3D world. And then this is, the human eye is very limited in what it can see.
Hmm.
So we cannot see ultraviolet or infrared. And the orbs exist in the infrared spectrum, along with quite a few other things.
Yeah. Yeah. So our proposed theories about orbs, they could be, and this is what I feel strongly is one of the many theories I believe in, are they are portals, windows, or tunnels to other dimensions, and or protective crafts carrying intelligent beings between dimensions, as well as souls. Because we
Mhm.
see so much in our orbs that look like, there's so beings and cities. We've seen landscapes in orbs, right?
Right. They're very multidimensional.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And a lot of people ask what the orb colors mean. You want to go over this one, Trace?
Sure. So there are some charts that people have made up, but nobody really knows what they mean. So we just kind of guess and, use our intuition or, like I said, mostly guesses, but this is what we think maybe. Each color can convey a different type of communication from the energy, kind of like the chakras. If you need heart healing, what would that be? Green
Green or pink.
or pink?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
um, love, that would depict love, but and then the color depicts their manifestation stage when captured with the camera, because I've noticed that orbs do change colors in video, and I'm sure you've
Yeah.
seen that as they're
Mhm.
moving, across the screen, that they're changing colors.
Mhm.
And then their colors could also be an indication of what realm they inhabit, since some believe the very bright white orbs are from an angelic or high frequency realm.
Yeah. Orbs in living color. So here's a really pretty yellow orb.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous. Yeah. And here's some of the colors that we've been able to capture. Just a small fraction of the colors we've
Mm-hmm.
had.
And what the camera can capture. So
Mhm.
there's probably many more colors that the camera can't even pick up.
Or that our eyes can't see. Maybe the camera is capturing these colors, perhaps, just a thought. But
Hmm.
like you said too, but our eyes are only able to see the certain spectrums of color within
Right,
our rainbow spectrum.
right.
Yeah. And I really like the one with the S on it
Mm-hmm.
right there.
Yep.
Here's some other colors, some really pretty colors. I love that gold yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And they do have a sense of humor. They're
Yes,
very playful.
they are.
Mhm,
And that top one was an orb I captured in our yard, and the bottom one is from a friend of ours
mhm.
who is she has a website called the Orb Connection. So you should check her out. She's got some amazing orbs in there and photos in there. And she took that photo and thought it looked like Shrek, and I thought it did too.
Yeah. And the top one definitely looks like some ET
Yes.
extraterrestrial there, just like ET phone home, dude. Faces. Go ahead, Trace.
Okay. So the common definition of pareidolia, I think is how you say it,
Mhm.
pareidolia. Um, it's a term for seeing patterns in random data. Some common examples are seeing likeness of Jesus in the clouds. I mean, I'm sure we've seen the Jesus in the toast,
Yeah.
um, or an image of a man on the surface of the moon. It um, it tries to explain these patterns away as a trick of the mind, but we've learned from spirit and communicating with our orbs that you always want to use your intuition and judgment when you're seeing faces and orbs, because some people have seen their loved ones and
We
orbs, and
have too.
yeah, and they look just like a photograph or something that they have.
Mhm.
So it's important to use your intuition as you're taking photos of orbs.
Yeah. And I don't care what anyone says, that cloud right there, it that looks like a Native American.
Yep,
Yeah, totally.
definitely a face there.
Yeah. And there
But
is a being named
I didn't take that picture, so I wouldn't know what
I
to say about it.
no, I didn't either, but I
Yeah.
it was on and I didn't have the credit of it because it was on a website or a, forum that I belonged to, and there wasn't any credit there for it. Um,
Okay.
but, uh, there's a being called White Cloud, which I actually worked with for quite a while as Ascended Master, and, that would make sense why, White Cloud, hello, right there.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah. And here's another face.
There's a face. That was,
Yeah.
one was very prominent.
Mhm. And I took this one, and I asked Prince, who I love and adore, to show up for me in my backyard, and it took me a little while, I was going through my photos and I didn't get it right away. I didn't see it right away. It took a couple days for him to show up. But when I was going over my photos later, I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And I felt that presence, that knowing. Look at these
Mhm.
photos, as you're looking at them, you get these intuitions. Look at this one, look at that, you feel it, you feel into it. And so I'm like, that looks just like that photo. Do you see it,
Yeah,
Trace?
that's
You see it,
amazing.
Trace?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I can see it.
yeah. So, we have lots of pictures with faces in them, but we didn't want to be doing this for hours. So,
Right. So we're just showing a couple examples.
yes, and you can get your own peeps
Yes, you
into orbs.
can.
Patterns. Isn't that God, that's so pretty.
Hmm.
I love that. So these are different patterns. That's amazing.
Yeah, you could probably find something in each orb there. I mean,
I could just stare at them for a long time and find so much.
right.
Yeah. The Tin Man. I always think of the Tin Man, that one on the upper left.
Oh, right, right. I mean, this just shows you how multidimensional they are.
Mhm.
There's so much going on in these orbs.
Yeah. And the one in the middle, on the bottom row,
Hmm.
doesn't that look like some kind of being just kinda resting on their hands and their arms,
Oh, yeah, like that. Yeah,
looking out? Yeah. Looking out a window or something at us.
right.
Distorted exploding orbs. We get a lot of those too.
Hmm. Those are always fun.
Yeah.
And we capture these mostly in the rain because
Oh, yes.
the energy is really high in the rain.
Mhm. And we're constantly wiping our lens.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's why we use cheap cameras.
Yes.
So these are some really cool photos or shots, beans with all kinds of stuff going on. I learned so much from them. Look at the grid lines. I mean, you can see grid lines like right
Hmm.
there and right there.
Yep.
It's just amazing to me. The science of orbs. Go ahead, Trace.
Okay. Let's see. Let me put it on full screen here.
Oh, okay. Hey, Shelley. Good to see you.
Okay, so this is from the Orb Project book. So if you're really interested in learning more about orbs, I suggest that book first. It's really good. So the science of orbs, infrared light from the orbs is converted into lower frequency to make it visible to the human eye and or the camera. So one thing is, some people say don't use your flash when you're taking pictures of orbs, but you really do need to turn your flash on, because what they do is they use the energy from the flash to manifest, through a process called fluorescence. So they're not actually reflecting the light from the flash, they're using it to manifest. Excited electrons create extra ionization during rainfall. As we said, we like taking pictures in the rain, and they
Mhm.
help the fluorescence process within the orbs. They move their electrons around with the leading edge showing a blue tint, while the trailing edge, this is if the orb is moving in a fast, manner, the trailing edge is an orange tint. So this orb is moving in an upwards motion, which is called the Doppler effect.
Yeah. Here it is.
And that's the Doppler effect that you can see, on a rocket, where the light is emitted. Um, the light waves are compacted and it's coming towards us.
Mhm.
As you see, the orange is on the trailing edge, and then the blue is the leading edge.
Right. Animals and orbs. I love this.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
As we know, orbs do love animals and children. And, we believe that animals, which I'm sure most of the viewers here believe or know that animals can see orbs with the naked eye.
Yeah. Some people can too. Um,
Yeah, and some people can. Yeah.
yeah.
And we will be discussing that in a little bit.
Yes, we will.
So, yep.
And plasma clouds, light waves. Was Van Gogh trying to tell us something?
Yeah, maybe he was one of those who could see,
Hmm.
orbs and plasma with the naked eye. It's
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah. I love those photos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are amazing.
And some more. This is what we call plasma clouds and light waves, right,
Mm-hmm.
Tracee?
Yep. Some people call them ectoplasma. Sandra Underwood calls them light waves. I like that term too.
Hmm. Hmm. I did not know anything about plasma clouds um, when I was taking orb photos, and then my sister started getting them. Tracee started getting them, and I think I have a slide here about it. And so I'm like, what are these things? I was just getting little orbs, orbs, and bought expensive cameras to get orbs, and that's all I was getting was orbs. And then I started asking for plasma clouds, and I was getting them like crazy after
Yep.
I asked for them. Here's some more. Wow. Yeah, this is one of my first plasma clouds down here in the left bottom corner.
Yep. Yep.
In 2017. That was in Montana.
Mm-hmm.
Now I see a lot of things in plasma clouds, a lot of scenes and a lot of beings and stuff like that, and faces, and I see faces and everything. And
Yes, you do.
I see a being down here. Can you see my mouse?
Yes.
You see that being right there?
Yes. Uh huh.
The head and looking at me taking the camera. I think this is mine,
Yeah,
and sitting in some kind of a light vehicle.
I can see that, and that's a beautiful orb too in that
It
photo.
is. Yeah. In this one up here, I can see two beings right here that look like they're bowing their heads. There's a big being here and a small being here, and there's a tall being holding out its hand right there. But this one has a very looks like a lion being to me. Do you see that, Trace?
Uh huh.
Yeah, and this is a small being with something on her head, I feel. But this very tall being is standing in front of them. Um, that's I stared at that picture for a very long time. Haven't seen it in a while. And the more you look at photos, your orb photos, the more your third eye will open up.
Yeah, that's very true.
Hmm. And
So
these
these
are
are what
energies
we
we call
call
veils. Go ahead.
veils,
Yep.
and these we capture in the rain also. And they come in all different colors
Yeah.
or snow. We capture them in the snow too.
Hmm.
I love that rainbow one in the top right corner.
Yeah. It looks
Such an odd shape.
it is, isn't it? It just looks like something sitting there on the fence
Mm-hmm.
on the balcony. Is it? There wasn't anything there. Orbs with coronas. These are my favorite. Some of my favorite with the colors that are bursting out from them.
And I called them Coronas before, the Corona name
Yeah.
started being in mainstream.
Yeah.
So I'm
Coronas like from the sun.
Yeah, from the sun. I'm gonna keep it though.
Oh, yeah, of course. Don't let that other thing mess it up or put a bad name on it. I mean, the yeah, like a sun like the sun. Oh,
Right.
wow. Those are awesome. And the thing about taking these photos is we can feel the intelligence of them and the sentience and that they're playing with us too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Especially the plasma clouds. They'll swirl
definitely.
around you and yeah, come and go. It's yeah, it's pretty amazing experience.
Mhm. And these are orbs moving.
And these, I've noticed some people will capture those with their cell phones, orbs at a, in a movement type um, shot because cell phones, the shutter speed is a lot slower. So they'll capture the movement of the orbs rather than an orb in one single shot like a camera can do. But these were all taken with a camera.
Yeah, I used to just when I first started taking them, I'd use well, no, I'd use a little digital camera. That was before we had it was in '99, so we didn't have the cameras, the cell phone cameras. And when I started using my cell phone camera to get orbs before Tracy started studying and learn and teaching me how to do it right, then I would get them like this or like the previous photo, like these all the time.
Hmm.
Yeah, um, but I love these. These are so cool. Revisitors.
Yep. So these are just a couple examples of orbs that look very similar.
Mhm. I do notice there's one gold gold orb, big gold orb that I get almost every time I go out and shoot and get pictures. That
Hmm.
gold orb is there. Winged and unusual energies.
So I don't know what to call these.
Yeah.
Some would call them bugs, but who knows?
Or fairies.
Yeah, or fairies. Yeah. So elementals. Some people call them elementals. They seem to emit their own light, which I think might be a different than just a reflection of a
Mhm.
say a solid 3D bug. So that's why we wanted to share these, and I know quite a few people who take photos get these types of anomalies,
Yeah,
and they're pretty exciting when you get them.
they are. This one, I took this one was one of my first winged anomalies, and he's I feel like it looks like a little male fairy to me showing me his butt.
Could be.
I mean, to me, he looks like he's even, uh, showing me his profile, his head, with
Uh-huh.
the hair on top of his head. I can see his nose and his arms and legs. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like something flying away.
Mhm.
A possible, human form with wings.
It doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. These are awesome. Those colors. Wow. Octopus. A flying
Yeah.
octopus.
And one theory about this type of an anomaly is that it's an orb moving so fast at super speed and it's spinning. And so you're capturing like all the steps of the spinning of the orb, which could be possible. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then some people think they're elementals too.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
And then we have the heavenly beings, which we consider heavenly beings.
Yeah, or angelic, yeah, heavenly angelic. Some of them, look very angelic.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
then
if go
go ahead.
ahead.
You can explain what yours are.
Okay.
Yours are on the top there.
Okay, yeah, the one on the left, I feel is I felt the energy of Mother Mary,
Hmm.
when I took that one, and, then that looks like some kind of an angel or a dove or something, an angel like, uh, looks like angelic to me, and definitely the one on the right on the top row. Actually, we actually have that one in our oracle cards because
Yes.
we've created some oracle cards with our some of our very small portion of our photos. Um, yeah, so let us know if you want them. If
Yeah.
you want a deck.
And we need to have some more reprinted.
Yeah,
So
because we're almost out.
running out. Um, oh, the bottom part is that I call that my Jesus orb.
Yes.
The bottom left one, because it looks like Jesus to me with his hands outstretched,
Sure,
and
sure.
then the other one looks angelic to me.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And then hearts. We get
Hmm.
lots of hearts.
Yeah, hearts are fun.
Mhm. And the healing of orbs. Ruby girl.
And this is Ruby. She passed away. Oh gosh, it's been like 4 or 5 years. And we had a vet come to the house to help her transition. And when they took her body away, I had this feeling that I needed to take some pictures in the room. So I did, and the room was filled with orbs,
Mm,
which I'd never had that before.
yeah,
So that was very healing to know that there were, peeps there to help her transition and to help us with our grief, because
right.
she was such a sweet dog.
Yeah, you're a sweetie pie.
And those are some of the close-ups of some of the orbs that showed up in the room.
Nice. And here she is. She came to you.
And there she is in an orb. Yeah, that I can't remember when that was taken. I'll have to look, but it was maybe a year later.
Hmm. Yeah, you can see it. So I can see it clearly with the top of her head, her eyes right there, her tongue, her yeah, like you have it right there, just like
Yeah,
the photo. Nice. And as requested, when yeah, these
I know
isn't
those
that
are
awesome?
amazing shots.
I know, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
all the places for the orbs to land.
Uh-huh. Because we were taking pictures for orbs. We
Hmm.
asked them to come, and sure enough. Now, this one is not our photo, but we had to include it.
Hmm.
And we don't know who it belongs to. Um, but saw it on a spirit orb group, and this is just to me. This is just amazing.
And I think the story goes that a horse had died,
Okay.
and it was that horse's friend, that it hung out with, and then whoever was the owner of the horse took a picture of her, remaining horse, and that showed up.
Yes. Yes.
Just an amazing photo.
I know. And these are stories of some women who lost their sons and were able to heal through or photography
Hmm.
with communications from their sons.
And that's Sandra Underwood in the middle there, and then Nancy Myers is on either. No, Nancy Myers is on the left, and what is the name of the author on the right? Victoria or Hummel?
Virginia Hummel, yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
Virginia Hummel.
I read her book. Yeah, it's an amazing book, and she saw her son in an orb, and a picture of her son in an orb as a young child, and that's what made her start taking orb pictures. And then Nancy Myers on the left was being visited by her son. She had lost her son. So all three of these mothers had lost their sons,
Yeah,
and were being visited by their sons.
yeah. And Nancy's son always shows up as a teal colored orb, and there he is
Yes.
on her
Mhm.
shoulder in that photo.
Right.
Yeah, she has amazing photos. Okay. Um, how plasma light orbs can heal and teach a theory. Go ahead, Trace.
Okay, so this is just what we think because of our experiences with them, is that they surround us with light. You can feel the light, and
Mhm.
they're they're basically light in nature. That's what they are, light and love. And when we're surrounded by them, we always feel kind of giddy and joyful. It's hard to sleep, if you're doing it at night and you go to bed. It's really hard to sleep
It
out.
is.
Yeah, because you're so energized. So we're uplifted and energized, and it can last for a while. So they respond to our communication and requests. Like Sharon said, that the first time she asked for a plasma cloud, it appeared, and the same thing happened to me. When I'd learned about them on the internet, I asked for one, and it appeared.
Mhm.
So with practice, you can see through the other realms and through orbs. Through You can see to the other realms through orbs. It's not possible to feel depressed when you're doing this. It's impossible. So it's kind of a natural antidepressant as
Yeah,
you're
totally.
taking photos, and they're definitely teaching us a lot.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so how can you get orbs in your photos? So we've figured out what we realized is there's three main criteria. The person who is taking the photos needs an open mind and an open heart. Yeah, just be open to whatever. The right camera, and we'll show you what works best for us here in a little bit. A cheap point and shoot digital, nothing expensive, nothing fancy. It's what's best with the older cameras and cheaper digital cameras is they don't have the filters on them that filter out the um, the
Infrared.
orbs, the infrared. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, and also surroundings and environment. So making sure that the surroundings and environment aren't full of dust and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Foggy, which will show you, I think, some of those photos. And another thing I would like to say with this is that when you with a digital camera, you can take as many photos as you want. So you don't take just keep taking photos. We go out sometimes to take 100, 200 photos. Don't give up. Just keep taking, keep taking. The energies, the spirits, the beings that you're communicating with will know that you're taking photos sooner or later and that you're inviting them in. So you can talk to them and invite them in.
Right.
Yeah.
So okay. So some tips are, as Sharon said, use a cheap digital camera. Um, we like the Nikon Coolpix S100 because it has a large display on it, but we've used other ones too. So if you have, one on hand, you can try it. You don't have to go out and buy a new one. But we purchased them on eBay for like $40. They're all outdated cameras, so they're not new, and they don't make those anymore. So you can get them on eBay. You want to keep the flash on. I put the image mode on 8 um, image mode because it gives you more room on your memory card, so you're not taking large memory intensive photos. So I just put it on that because that's perfectly fine for orb photos. They're easier to see against a dark background, so good place to start is taking photos at night. You ask for them to appear. And like Sharon said, you may not get very many at first, but just keep taking more photos. And the more, sessions you have, then the more they're going to show up. So avoid taking pictures in the dusty area, fog, or directly into the sun or a light source. And as we said, water is a great conductor of energy. So our favorite time to take photos, orb photos, is in the rain or the snow.
Yeah.
And then
And
these
here's
some
yeah, go ahead.
cameras that
Mhm.
we've used before and had success with. The one on the upper left side is the Nikon Coolpix S100.
That's our favorite. The others get good shots too.
They do. Hmm.
Yeah. Um, so they can get different interpretations of
Yes,
similar types of
they
orbs, yeah.
do. Yep. So I just pulled some orbs that were similar in color, and the interpretation of the orbs is very different.
Mhm.
The Sony on the bottom left, all of my orbs tend to come out that way with the
Yeah.
circles in them. So yeah, cameras are different. They're all different. And then this is a test you can do to see if your camera will pick up infrared. Is if you point your camera in front of your TV remote and then you push a button and you look at the display on your camera, and if you can see the light on the TV remote, the infrared light, then that means that your camera can capture infrared
Okay.
optics.
That it's not it doesn't have filters on it.
Doesn't have a filter on it, right?
Yeah.
And most old cheap digital cameras don't have the filters, so they, your old cheap cameras should work.
Can orbs be seen with the naked eye? Yes, some people can see orbs with the naked eye, but rare because of the speed they are traveling. However, this is changing with the veil thinning, and sometimes I'll see little orbs when I'm in readings and things like that because I'm relaxed. So the more relaxed you are, it seems that the more you'll be able to see these anomalies. So, and
Mhm.
it's usually out of the corner of the eye. Yeah, we get this question a lot, don't we?
We do. And it really comes with experience, I think, the answer. Just making sure that you take photos in areas that aren't dusty or foggy, or, pointing your camera into the sun, then you'll know the difference. And we'll show you some examples here.
Yeah, false positives. Yes, and this fooled me for a long time.
Lens flare, yeah. All listeners, yeah, they think it's usually a little green dot in
Mhm.
their photo, because they took a photo and directly into the sun, and a little green dot shows up, and they think it's an orb. But we think that maybe spirit uses lens flare to communicate with us. Who knows?
Sure, sure.
So we
Yeah,
don't, eliminate all of it.
yeah. Because I remember taking photos. I'm like, this orb is following me everywhere. Everywhere I move my camera, there's that orb, that little green orb is following me everywhere.
Yeah,
And the moon too. You'll see, lens
the
flare in the
moon too.
moon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
any
at the
light
full
source.
moon. Mhm.
Yeah, and this is a foggy photo,
Yeah,
and dust.
dust.
And there could be a couple orbs in there. Who knows?
Right. But you'll get to where you can kinda tell the difference.
Hmm.
This was a very dusty house when I took that one, yeah. It was a they were working on the house, so it was a remodel.
Oh, right.
So, yeah, so there was a lot of dust around. And just some recommended books. that if you want to do some studying and understanding about orbs and this type of photography and just the connection between them and the afterlife and the other realms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here's some photos of the books. Merlina's book down here in the bottom right hand corner is an amazing, amazing book. She has a Facebook group and she's been on our show. Or we've had her on my show a couple times. She's got some amazing stuff. She does this method where she pulls so much out of photography, out of orb photography.
Right. Sentient beings. I
Sentient
didn't.
beings.
I didn't share any of that here. Just to, you know, not me. Like Sharon said, we don't want to be here for hours and hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can go to her. Well, I think you can go to her Facebook page, her personal Facebook page, and she shares some of that on her personal page too. Merlina Marcan.
Yeah. That's an amazing book. And this is us.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So does
So,
anybody have any questions?
who wants to go out and start taking orb photos? Hey, Cindy. Thank you. She says amazing. Yeah. That's just a small, small bit of, tiny, tiny bit of what we do capture, what we have captured and the experiences. I
Hmm.
learned so much looking at when I'm analyzing the photos afterwards. I learned so much from them.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Yeah. And also I find that I can look at photos as we're analyzing them one day, go back and look at them again and see even more stuff.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to start taking photos and you don't have a cheap digital camera, go to eBay and look for Nikon Coolpix S100 and bid on it and start taking pictures. You're
Right?
gonna be amazed at what you get. I didn't share the photos that we got at the Assetti Ranch. There's an amazing energy at this ranch in Trout Lake, Washington. If you haven't heard of it, and it's a retreat center basically, and the energy there is amazing. Where the frame can fill up with orbs.
Yeah.
It's that crazy. So
Yes.
that right there shows you the environment can really make a difference too.
Right. And also we didn't share pictures of we get portals too. We get
Mhm.
vortexes and portals. And we've noticed that as we get and we did a video on vortexes and portals. I'll put the link down in the details. Um, we noticed that there's some things we've noticed is that we'll get certain energies that'll come around, and there's where we get similar types of anomalies, right? Where they come around at a certain time or certain photo session, and then they will even another type similar type of energy will come around. Do you notice that, Tracy? We
Right.
talked about that, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and they come in groups, in swarms, I guess, or
Mhm.
groups with similar types of energies, like those those exploding orbs. Those types of energies will come around. We'll get, and also the corona orbs. Those will come around together.
Right.
Yeah, and as we are taking pictures and they're using the flash, as these energies are using the flash from the camera, you can tell a buildup of energy where a portal will open up.
Mhm.
And we kind of feel maybe that's what veils are we've heard that they could be there's a theory that they could be coverings of the portal, right? That that come off.
Could be. Yeah, we've
Yeah.
heard that theory before.
And then these energies, and we'll have one picture where we'll see the vortex and the portals, and then another picture because we take them like very close together, um, and another photo where we'll see all these energies, little light orbs, all these different kinds of energies coming out of the portal, and they fill up the
Right.
frame.
Right. Yeah. It's pretty fun.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It
And
really is.
another thing we didn't mention, if you wanted to use your cell phone for taking orb pictures, video on your cell phone works really well.
Oh, you took the videos off. Well,
I did, yeah.
nice.
So if you make sure you have your flash on and take video with your cell phone, you can get some orbs that way. And I know a lot of um, people on our Orb Sisters page. They do get some great videos.
Yes,
Yeah, with their
totally.
loved ones. Hmm.
Yeah. Let's see if I can pull up the videos. Still have a little bit of time.
Okay.
Since we went through it quicker than we thought. 'Cause- Okay.
We have quite a few videos on our YouTube Orb Sisters page too, if you wanted to check those out.
We
So
do.
go to the Orb Sisters on YouTube and you can find some of those.
Right. Yeah. Also, one thing that I've noticed that I've learned from, yeah, it's for some reason I'm not able to bring it up. Um, that the grid lines are there. I've seen I've seen grid lines in uh, in photos with a lot of light behind them, which is showing me that we are in a matrix. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and also, I've also seen orbs or anomalies where there's people looking out of, in the nighttime, there's beings looking out of the window or the portal, and there's so much light behind them. So they're looking at us from a light environment into a dark environment.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But what is light for them might not be light for us too, and what is dark for them might not be dark for us.
What? You lost me.
I'm just saying if they're existing in a different realm,
Yeah,
then their light and dark might be very different than our light and dark.
yeah.
So the camera may be capturing something that is not exact.
Real
What
oh,
I'm saying.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
There's so much we don't know.
There is, but it's
There's so
fun.
much we have to learn.
It's fun, uh, learning and playing with it,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, let me bring it up. Okay. Alrighty then. So everyone is ready to take photos, right? Okay. Thumbs up.
Yes. Thank you for coming, everybody. We really enjoy teaching others how to get the results that we get.
Yeah, because we get some amazing stuff. And don't be afraid to go out in the rain. You won't regret it
Mhm.
because you'll feel really good. You start getting plasmas and ask for them. Ask for plasmas. Ask for different anomalies. I'll ask for, and Tracy and I talk about how spoiled we are now, because we're used to, when we get orbs, like, oh gosh, I got an orb. Look, I got an orb. But now, you know, we want plasma clouds and veils and, orbs
Right.
are cool too. But
Hmm.
we're spoiled. So we want, we want it all. If
Yeah.
you can. we get amazing. Um, it's different every time, and also we notice that sometimes it's quiet when we go out, and there's
Hmm.
not a lot of activity.
Yep, that's true.
We can feel it. Other
Hmm.
nights it's like it's you could feel the activity. You can almost feel them calling you to come outside.
Hmm. And sometimes it's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right? That's the best time, but, yeah, it's hard
Yeah,
to get up and do that.
right. I've done
Yeah.
it many times when I've heard it pouring down rain. I've gotten out of bed and gone out there.
It does seem the harder the rain, the better, the more energy and the better,
Yeah.
photos. It does seem like the really hard rain, and in the snow. My first plasma clouds was in the snow, or after it
Mhm.
snowed, actually, and, oh, you took my first plasma clouds off. Tracee cut down their presentation.
You have
I
that
know.
one, the one in the plasmas.
Oh, yeah,
The
that's right.
one,
I did.
yeah.
I did, yes.
So Cindy says she's ready to try tonight.
Yay, awesome.
Yay. And then Carissa, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you both so much. Thank you,
You're
Carissa.
welcome. You're welcome, Krissa. Yeah, totally. And don't forget to analyze them afterwards. Put them on your, you
Yes.
know, on the big screen and go through them because things that you see you may not see in in your camera screen, you'll see on your computer screen or wherever you want, wherever you put it up. And one thing I've found is that um, I see things better on small scale rather
Mhm.
than close up scale, if that makes sense,
Mhm.
especially with plasmas. Well, orbs too. If I sit back and look at an orb or a plasma or something like that, I'm able to see a lot more what's there. It's kind of like, and I equate it to like if you're looking at us now, our bodies, right, our physical form, the way we look now, and then we go in deep, 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 and go into into ourselves and into our body and stuff like that. We can't really see the whole picture. We see the cells and everything, but we don't see, you know, that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. We just see the details, but it's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for showing up.
Yeah. Happy orb taking photos of orb photo photography.
Yes. Yes. And
Yeah.
if you're on our Orb Sisters Facebook page, share your results so we
Mhm.
can see what you get.
Mhm. Yeah. All right. Thanks everyone for being here. We'll see you again another time. Mwah. Love you all.
Thank you. Bye.